This is the Frontiersman. And for those of you who do not know, he's a superhero. Retired, of course. He's old. But because he's old does not mean he's useless. The problem is, he forgot the influence the superhero community had. He decided to publicize his location to the world 24/7 with a protest. That was a mistake because all his enemies are starting to come out of the woodworks just to beat him down for the world to watch. And sadly, some of them swung and they missed. He didn't. Picking up exactly where we left off in the last video, he faced off against his nemesis and he came out on top. Sadly, his nemesis lost a few brain cells. Matter of fact, he lost a lot. He was deceased. And funny enough, it was streamed live, so everyone knew it was self-defense. Because this fact was so obvious, he decided, I'm not coming down from this tree. The protest continues. When the protest is done, when the tree is saved, I will go to the prison cell if you want. But for now, I stay. They didn't like it, but they left him and his daughter, well, she opened fire. You killed someone on TV? What the hell is wrong with you? He said, hey, honey, self-defense, chill. It wasn't just her calling. His ex called too to berate him. Even the people that set off this protest were calling like, yeah, you maybe should have come down with this people, but it's too late for that now. I'm here. And his enemies were here too, because they were planning something nasty. And now that the bear was involved, it was about to get reckless. Now you need to understand something about the bear. He wasn't important. The bear was just a host. The parasite was the one in charge. And he had a serious god complex. He pulled up like, what the hell do you want? I want what you want, old friend. I want to make a statement. And this guy has provided us with a stage. The parasite was not impressed. What the hell do I need him for? That doesn't make sense to me. He said it makes sense because he's a hero and one of the last of his generation. We kill him. We cancel the whole idea of heroes in general. We break the hearts of Americans worldwide. This is what we do. He looked at him like, yeah, I'm not like you. I am a higher life form. He said, higher life form? You've been losing battles since. Don't play me, son. Let's do this together. They were coming and the humans had no clue what was going down. Even the protesters were like, yeah, maybe we should cancel this, but he couldn't. There was a blood patch on his platform, and he still didn't want to leave. The message was not achieved yet. They need to leave this tree the fuck alone. The people actively trying to cut this tree down were actually just scared for their lives, because now they sent someone to his death, and they were just trying to make sure it couldn't trace back to them. What's the worst that could happen right now? What's next? Come to find out, she was next. His other ex-girlfriend, the glorious Queen of the Fae. Oof, she looks good. All around her, people were like, Jesus Christ, what is this now? It was just his ex. I mean, he was a freaking superhero. What do you expect? The billionaires decided, man, this shit is getting weird. I'm going there myself. Even the bad guys were watching like, maybe we should pause, not go yet. Hello, Ethan. Aren't you going to invite me in? He said, of course. Grab hold. He gave his hand and she grabbed it because obviously she needed a platform to pull herself to. And he was carrying at least 100 tons as she shrunk. When she landed, you have gotten old. He said, yeah, that's what happened when you live life. My hand hurts. They were good together. She was basically the Wonder Woman of their universe, except she could grow and shrink. This place looks like shit. And I heard you kill the man. Good. He looked at her crazy like, what do you mean good? He deserved it, man. He pulled up to you, tried to kill you. You did what you had to do. He looked at her like, yeah, I don't like to kill people, shorty. She's like, all right, fine. He said, don't blame me. I've not hit a human with my mace in ages. She's like, yeah, humans are delicate. For a long time, the running joke was she was the queen of fairies. But no, she was the queen of the Fae, and she was a warrior queen at that. Mind you, she wasn't just a hero. She was a villain. She was a villain at first, his enemy. It was very much understandable why the world was interested in this conversation. They wanted to hear everything, and he wanted to know why she was there. She said, don't rush me. He said, okay, my bad. Let's sit down and talk. And so they sat, reminiscing about the past. Life has been life. She's tried, honestly. Because of him, she actively tried to be a member of society, but she was basically a god. She was 7 foot, super powerful, and everything was breakable to her. It was a shitty life. It was so bad, in fact, she went back to villainy. But then she realized that was not for her. Most of them were too soft or really, really hard. I mean, psychopath hard. She wasn't about that life. She wanted fun adventures like they used to have. She actually remembers the day he brought her into the real world, into our world, the day they connected, and the love making they did. I mean, like I said, she was 7 foot. He was just a regular ass man. And they dated, of course. Which brings us to the present. She wants to know why. Why take so long just to make contact? I mean, he didn't even call her. She had to know where he was through the news. That's fucked up. They were friends, weren't they? He tried to blame it on him trying to live a regular-ass life, and she couldn't be a part of that, but that was bullshit. She battled another hero a few days ago and found out that they were still in contact. Why was she out of the loop? Are you selective? Tell me why. She kept asking and threatening to crush his skull that he just outright said it. I liked you, but I'm afraid you just like me for being a superhero. And she was like, are you dumb? And just started going at him right there as the world watched. I mean, the world watched as she stripped down and just went to town on this brother in front of everyone, his kid, his enemies. Yeah, he was popular, right? He was super popular. I mean, just imagine the ex. Imagine his ex just watching this live. Even the protesters were like, turn off the cameras. But they said, you guys wanted this. What do you mean turn off the cameras? They knew no shame. The warrior queen herself stood up, knowing full well she just blessed the whole community with pure, fresh content. Don't worry about it, boy, we good. And G, don't you ever take so long to hit me back. She just jumped. He was worried, of course, but there was no need. She was literally a giant. Don't forget to call me, alright? Peace. Shorty just pulled up, got busy, and just left. Just like that. That was her world. Well, he had to face the music because as soon as he picked up the phone, the messages were pouring in. His kid, the reporters, everyone, his ex. He said, screw this phone and tossed it to the side. Yeah, that was a mistake because if he had the phone, he could call for help. Something was coming and it was coming fast. He even went out of his way to kill the cameras like, yeah, you should never have been recording that. That's my privacy, bitch. He looked up after killing the camera and saw them. It was battle time. Hello. They came in hot, all 3 of them. The Chimera, Lance, and the Bear. They attacked him, but he was on go. He's been recharged. He was just in box, bruh. And he attacked, knocking the Chimera out of his way clean. What the hell are you guys? What's your problem, bruh? I don't even know none of you. He went for the knife, but the parasite caught him like, nah, son, you're going to die like a human. Pathetic. He said, nope. With dagger in hand, he split the parasite in half and tossed him to the side. Is this the best you got? You guys suck. You're not mainstream at all, I take it. You're using me to blow up. Princess screamed, shut up, old man. I'm going to make you blow up. Using her lancer, she unleashed a cosmic shot, but he just stepped out of the way, causing her to eradicate the parasite as he just disabled her lance. He popped that shit like a balloon, and she fell. She fell hard. It was clear that they were out of his league. Everyone except the Chimera. The Chimera was the big boss. He stepped up like, ooh, nice kick. But you see, I'm here to kill you, for the world to watch. Are you ready? It was time for the big show. All his friends and family were pulling up. And the parasite, well, it wanted revenge. It treated him like trash. And like I said, it had a god complex. It doesn't take disrespect lightly. The Chimera was locked in battle, and the parasite was pulling up like, you die. You die today. Back on the ground, though, Lancer, well, she fell on her head. You just know she did. Back on the top of the tree, though, the battle was over. The Chimera was just too strong. He was even toying with the boy. He was trying to rip his jaw open with his bare hand. Everything was going smooth until the parasite pulled up like, he's mine. You dared to strike a god. The Chimera said, chill, I've got this. The parasite replied, I don't give a damn what you've got. He's mine. The Chimera said, stand down. He said, nope, get the hell out of my way. I'm going to kill you. Slowly. He grabbed his arm and just started to pierce him. The Chimera screamed he mustn't die yet, but the parasite didn't care. He was just killing. Even Frontiersman was like, God damn, this guy's going to end my life. Until the Chimera decided, alright, it's time for you to go to bed, boy. He landed on the creature's head and ripped out its core. go to sleep, go to sleep. He crushed him in one fell swoop. I told you he was the big boy. All that remained was Frontiersman. You have a reprieve of 4 minutes. His daughter was there. He didn't know she was, but he was ready to fight. He picked up his mace like, alright, come forth. Let's do this. Absolutely winging this. He didn't even know Lancer's cosmic lance was about to pop off. Still, he was ready to fight. And oh boy did he fight. He went straight for the Chimera's wings as the lance exploded, shaking the whole tree. Yeah, there was no escape. The only way they could was to fly, and now his wings were shattered. Final explosion destroyed the whole platform. What have you done, creature? You have doomed both of us to die. Isn't this a fitting end? He tried, he clawed, he tried to hold on to the platform, but there was no need. The Frontiersman was letting him fall. This was the plan. Fall, damn it. Using his mace, he grabbed a hold of the platform. At least he wasn't going to die. Wrong. The Chimera had a hold of him. We die together. He said, nope, I have a kid. 2 ex-girlfriends I kinda like. I have a lot to live for. Fall. He stepped on his head, and the Chimera said, alright, I'll fall, but I'm going to wreck you as I do. He slashed his arm with one free claw, and he gaped open his wrist. He couldn't hold the platform. He couldn't hold his weight. But like I said, he's a superhero. This was easy. He had a lot to live for and a lot to answer for because this was a mistake. He was never going to do this again. And I need you guys to understand this is the start of this superhero universe. There is definitely going to be more, and I will be covering every single book just because. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me if you like this story and you want to see more of it. If you don't, tough titty. Peace.